Hi guys, Linda here, and today I'm in Lodi, California, looking forward to showing you around Harney Lane Winery and Vineyards. In case you haven't heard, Lodi, California is very respected in the world of wine. So come join me today on California Swirls. Hey, thanks for watching. Don't forget to like us and subscribe, and make sure so you know every time we upload a new video, hit that notification bell too. When first approaching the entrance to the Harney Lane tasting room, a sense of comfort and home are felt. Entering into the interior, you completely feel at ease, as if wandering around your own living room, with a delightful collection of gifts, books, and goodies. The sitting area by the fireplace is cozy and intimate, and you'll notice a tray which has the sandy soil inside that these vines have been growing in for over 116 years. The Mettler and Lerner family is so welcoming, and you can feel the love of all that they do here as they greet you. The beloved late patriarch George grew up on the very grounds of the winery property and carried on the high standards of tending to the grapes that his great-grandfather planted in 1900. The wines here are beautifully varied, elegant, and so delicious. Taking a stroll through the grounds here is a relaxing treat. Let's take a second and listen to the resident birds. Kathy, the matriarch of Harney Lane, took me through a tour of the grounds and shared the family history. So tell me about this beautiful forest here on the grounds of the winery.
Well, most of it we can thank my husband's grandpa. He planted the three big deodoras. He always told us that they came in on flatbed rail cars. And I honestly don't know if it was because of their size or it was horse and buggy time, because we have pictures of them in the ground in 1929, and they're pretty good size then.
That's amazing.
Yeah. So we have family of hawks and a family of owls, and they trade trees. They won't share the same tree, but they'll actually trade trees.
Get the more of the forest to
That's
themselves.
right. They get to enjoy it themselves.
That's wonderful.
But it's interesting you call it the forest, because that's what it's always been to us. My
Now,
husband camped out here as a kid.
That's amazing that he did. I was going to ask you, because you told me earlier that he played out here when he was a child.
Absolutely. And then my daughter did, and they camped, and even my niece and nephew. So it's, and then Easter time we always have an egg hunt. So
Oh, I can imagine how fun an egg
it's
hunt.
lots of fun. But obviously Grandpa had decided to do a formal garden because the circles and everything were there. And this was actually a driveway that went all the way to the back.
Right where we're standing.
Yep.
So Harney Lane connects right with Highway 99, and Highway 99 is the main old highway that connects from Northern California all the way to Southern California.
Yep.
So your winery is a pretty easy place to find.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And you know, we're Harney Lane Winery, so there's free advertisement right off the freeway.
Absolutely, absolutely. So anyone wanting to come and wine taste and visit this beautiful winery that is ranked in the top wineries of Lodi, it's going to be very simple to come south from Sacramento or come north from Stockton.
Yep.
And there's Lodi, there's Harney Lane, right off the road.
We'd love to have people come. That's what we're all about.
Wonderful. First planted in 1904 by George's grandfather, the Lizzie James Vineyard produces the Old Vine Zinfandel and Lizzie James Port. We were shown around this long-established vineyard by the winemaker himself, who lovingly tends to its every need.
I'm Kyle Lerner with Harney Lane Winery. This is my office. This is what these vines get to grow in, this just amazing sand. There's organic matter in there, but if we took the organic matter out of that, you'd think you're at the beach.
Moving through the rows, Kyle shared with Paul the history of this grand old vineyard.
So this is that sandy loam that we were speaking of, you know, the sand, the deposits, the granite that washed off the Sierras as we got into the flatlands before the Delta, all kind of dropped in this area. And this is where that 95 feet of sand happened. Can you imagine, you know when you walk into your grandma's house, years ago when you were a kid, she was probably making jam, and you smell and you taste that experience. It probably brings back memories. These berries, when we get close to harvest, taste like little pillows of grandma's jam. And that's what we're seeking as we decide our harvest date and when to bring that fruit in to start the process of making wine. What people don't really realize is how the shape really develops with these vines. But every single year, we have to prune these back to set them up for balancing the vine for the following season. And so on these canes, where every leaf is also a node where you could have another cane grow out next year and potential fruit. But if we just left them alone, they would grow wild, which they do in nature. But in this case, we pruned back to a spur. So there's two buds on here, and you can see these two canes that have grown. This is actually last year's wood. So think about this. So these vines are 116 years old, and so they've actually had 116 different hands on this vine, shaping and molding and pruning this over the course of its life. And so that's how you get these turns and these gnarly twists and all these great things going on with these vines. And they're just, every single one of them is a one-off, you know, because they've been shaped and molded just slightly differently. But it's one of those really cool pieces of what we do. I love watching these. Try get a piece of farming equipment through here. Not so much fun, you know, if it's all nice and neatly trellised, much easier. But each one of these guys has its own name and its own character, and so it's really it's been a great 20 years being the stewards of these vines in their particular moment in life. Taste one of these up here now, because this is going to get closer. You're going to start tasting those little pillows of grandma's jam just starting to develop, right?
That's very good. Yeah. Oh, those are delicious.
So we're in the middle of July right now. We actually have a couple more months to allow this fruit to develop and mature. Sugar is going to continue to accumulate. We're going to get these really dense flavors that are going to start to develop out here. And as we get closer to harvest, we're not so much thinking about how much sugar is accumulated, because sugar is actually what ferments and converts to alcohol, but we're thinking more about how those berries actually taste. And is Lizzie James actually ready to harvest so we can get to those beautiful wines?
Question for you.
Yeah.
Can the camera crew have some of this?
Please.
Here ages the Patriarch's Promise, a Harney Lane staple since 2012. This proprietary wine is the center of many conversations, and you'll have to guess the contents as it's a well-known family secret. George remembered this particular grape being used to make some wonderful wines in his grandfather's day. My friend Conchetta took me back into the forest for a delightful taste of this fabulous wine. I'm supposed to guess what this is, but even if I do guess right, you can't tell me because it is the Patriarch's Promise.
That's right.
Secret recipe. Snozberries.
Linda, who's ever heard of a snozberry?
Whether the Albarino, Rosé, Chardonnay, Zinfandel, Petit Syrah, Primitivo, Tempranillo, or Lizzie James Port, you're sure to taste an award-winning wine. And don't forget about the Patriarch's Promise at one of Lodi's finest, Harney Lane Winery. Thank you for joining us today at Harney Lane Winery and Vineyards. We're very happy you were here with us and meeting our new friends as well. Don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel, and don't forget to hit that notification bell so you always know when a new video is being uploaded.